Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.
La agrupación canadiense Yukon Blonde está presentando una versión de lujo de Vindicator, su placa más reciente. Y para platicarnos del trabajo del quinteto canadiense, tenemos el gusto de recibir hoy a Jeff Innes en esta videollamada. Hola, Jeff.
Hi, how's it going?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Great, I'm awesome.
Where are you right now, Jeff?
I'm at my home studio.
In Canada, in Vancouver?
Yeah, in Vancouver.
Great. Jeff, you are releasing a deluxe edition of Vindicator with some new tracks, new songs, and giving another track, another life to the album, because we finally listened to the whole album, love it. It sounds amazing, and now you have the deluxe edition.
Yeah, we included 5 new tracks on it. One's a remix. The others, there's 4 new songs to the record, and I mean, it was mainly because initially we didn't feel like those tracks really fit the record as a whole.
Yes.
And the other thing was that we kind of decided to release them anyways because they're good. We like the songs, and now things are starting to open up from the pandemic and stuff. And it's nice to have a new lease on the record so we can tour it and all that.
Yes, because as you said, a full-length album has a narrative, a concept in between the songs, and it's interesting to listen to these other songs that didn't fit in the album, but are great songs, right?
Yeah. That's kind of the idea. Like, we did feel like the whole record had a bit of a narrative flow. The other thing is that the bonus tracks that we added, a couple of them were almost too pop. Like they overshadowed the singles that we wanted to put out there, like Get Precious or Your Heart's My Home, which are, they're a little weirder, and we wanted those to be on the radio or something, and then so these other songs that were almost like too immediate, so we were just like, another time. We thought that we'd sell them to a commercial, and we never did that.
But it's not important, right? Because there are a lot of independent media, digital media that listen your music, review your songs, play your singles. I mean, maybe traditional media, as we know it doesn't matter for your work, right? The fans are there, the media are there.
Yeah. I mean you're right. I mean, like, and that's kind of the amazing thing about the internet. You can sort of you can curate your own kind of album or your own feel for it, and then you can go back and do it again, like we did with Vindicator Deluxe.
So Jeff, Yukon Blonde have been working for 10 years, and you have 5 records. That's a lot of records, right? Maybe 2 per year. But sorry, one album every 2 years. Sorry.
Yeah, I got you. It pretty much works out to that. And we used to release an EP in between records, but as the records start to get a little bit more involved, and we spend a little bit more time on them, we stopped releasing the EPs in between. But yeah, and like the last couple records, we've recorded them. So we've gotten into studios and stuff, and we've started recording other bands and stuff, but we really like the studio. So
it's important for a band to can have these both worlds, right? To be a time in the studio, recording, writing, but also playing live, touring.
Yeah, and I feel like we really thrive well live. Like we've been told by other fellow Canadians and some Americans that we're, like one of the best live bands that they've seen, and they wish that our records could sort of be translated like the same way that we were live. And we tried that on our first few records, and then we realized that it doesn't work. Like, what we need to do is make the record even more of a record, like get really into the recording process, and then just still do the best we can live. So so I mean, we're trying to strike that balance, and we love it, actually.
There's a very prolific scene in Canada, right, of independent music, alternative music. How you feel it's the place of Yukon Blonde in this indie scene?
I think we do pretty good. Yeah, there's and we have a really good scene in Canada for indie music. We have our national radio, the CBC, that supports indie records and stuff. So they'll play records and interview indie artists and stuff. And even some of the major radio stations play indie bands and stuff. But in the community, it's a really tight community. It's a really good community. A lot of people work together, and everyone's very supportive. It's not. I mean, it's competitive, but it's not too competitive. It's the right competitive.
And Jeff, how important is for you to can reach other music scenes in Canada? Because Vancouver, it's very interesting. Have a lot of places, a great vibe. It's an important city, but there are also a lot of things happening in other cities. It's important for you to connect with the cities.
Yeah, I actually feel like you know. Not to sort of diminish our connection to Vancouver, but I feel like we have a greater connection to cities like Toronto and St. John's, and we go out there to Toronto a lot, and we have a lot of friends bands out there. We've recorded out there. We love Toronto. It's a very important city for us.
Yes.
And Canada's tough to tour. It's a very big country, and so when we tour, we have to start in Vancouver and go all the way across the country and end up back in Vancouver, and that's like a round trip of like 16,000 kilometers. It's very big.
I know it's huge, but you can also reach the East Coast or the West Coast in the United States, so you can extend the tour, right?
Yeah, we do that. Sometimes we'll start in like San Diego or something. We'll make our way up to Vancouver, go across Canada, and then down to New York and Boston and all that. So it's that center drive though. Holy, like that's a long drive.
I
and
know.
There's like 4 cities in there too.
Yes, I know, because in the Mexican border with the United States, there are several cities and towns in both countries, but not in the US-Canada border, right? It's very different.
Yeah, it's totally different. I love that southern United States when you like driving through Texas and stuff, and like Arizona, Nevada, all that. I love that drive. Like, and just the closer that we get to the Mexican border, I'm like, man, we gotta get shows down there. I just want to keep going.
Have you ever played here in Mexico?
Never. The closest that we came to playing in Mexico was we had a show in San Diego where a lot of people from Tijuana came to the show. that was the best we did.
Yes, because I saw in your social media that there are a lot of Mexican fans all the time telling you, come to Mexico to play live. So I'm pretty sure that you have found through the social media that there are a lot of people here that want to see your show.
I hope so. We got to get down there. Get us down there.
Please come. And I think it will be great if you can come not only to Mexico City, but here to Guadalajara, Monterrey, Tijuana, other cities in the country, right?
Oh, I'd love that. I'd spend a year touring Mexico. It'd be awesome.
Because there's I don't know exactly why, but there's a lot of connection between Canada and Mexico. Culturally talking, there are a lot of Mexican students in the universities of Canada, and there are an important number of Canadians living here in Mexico. So we have a connection, we have a bridge, and
yeah.
we share the same neighbor, right?
Yeah, we share the same neighbor who's just so paranoid about people getting into their country. It's like, man, we don't care. Like, we'll just go over you. We don't.
Yes. So in the meantime, that we can listen you live here in Mexico, we have Vindicator, the deluxe edition of Vindicator, your latest album. It's in all digital platforms, but you have also released it in vinyl and in CD, right?
Yeah, we have. We have just Vindicator, the record, not the deluxe edition, on vinyl and CD. But the deluxe edition, I'm pretty sure it's only online.
We can listen in streaming platforms, but
everything.
We can buy the vinyl. It's not a problem that doesn't have the deluxe edition because we can listen online, right?
Exactly.
And it's still important, Jeff, to listen music in physical formats because it's like a ritual, right? We all have our very own way of listening vinyl in our turntable, in our space, with some loud volume, right?
I love it. We've released every single one of our albums on vinyl. We all have extensive record collections. We love listening to records. When we're on tour, a couple of us will wake up early and we'll go check out the record stores in a town. We just the sort of physical aspect of listening to music is it's revelatory. It's like it's a beautiful thing. It's not sometimes like when you're listening on Spotify, like if there's a part of a song that you don't like, you just skip it. But on a record, like you got to work through it, and sometimes those end up being your favorite songs.
And I don't know if it happens to you, but when you listen a vinyl, you can understand more the narrative in between the songs, right? The concept of an album.
Absolutely, totally, and there's just an immediate connection. I feel like this with a lot of things actually in the world, and it's becoming more apparent. The sort of physical, tactile nature of interfacing with like actual objects as opposed to on a screen is really important. It kind of right now my girlfriend and I are doing a puzzle, like a big puzzle we got on our kitchen table, and we've been working on it forever, but we'll be there for hours, and our mood improves. It doesn't diminish, if you were doing that on a screen, I don't know, I feel like you get sad at a point.
Yeah, it's not the same, but we can listen to the deluxe edition of Vindicator, the new album from Yukon Blonde, on streaming platforms. We can buy the vinyl in your website, right?
Yeah.
And I hope you can make it soon to Mexico. When you come to Mexico, I will take you to the local record stores to maybe buy a vinyl from a Mexican band.
That'd be lovely. And food. We love food.
Oh, please. There are a lot of places also.
I know.
Well, looking forward to see Yukon Blonde live here in Mexico. Congratulations for the album and the deluxe editions. The songs sounds amazing. And looking forward to see you here in Mexico.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
Jeff
Can't wait to be there.
Please come soon. Jeff Innes from Yukon Blonde, thank you so much for the chat with Rutas Alternas.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.